Interesting when we got a bunch of African-American DAs. Now we need daddy to tell us what to do. They can keep looking. I'm not interested in them looking. They can look. I'm sorry they pissed off. Justice is now actually blind. Lady Justice is blind. Everybody can get it.
Oh, you definitely gonna get it, Cash Money G. You best believe that. Okay, I'm sorry. She just brings it out of me, y'all. She totally brings it out of me. Guys, we have some incredible, awesome Fani Cash Money G Willis drama for you today. The Pitbull, Steve Sadow. I'm going to name drop a little bit. I'm going to tell you how I got this information, which I know a lot of you guys are going to be really, really excited as I am. I got this article that was published today talking about this very speech, and also a speech that she gave at church, which we did a video on, where, essentially Cash Money G is just running off at the mouth, completely ignoring ethical conduct of a DA, a prosecutor, a district attorney. They're supposed to be held to the highest standard, as well as the judge's orders. And she just thinks she can get away with whatever she wants. She just feels like she's invincible. And I was in the fortunate position of being in communique with our guy, the GOAT, Steve, the Pitbull Sadow, who texted me and emailed me this awesome news story, giving a little more information and intelligence into all of the egregiousness, like there isn't enough already, that our girl Cash Money G has committed, and especially regarding the ever omnipresent crutch of the race card that has been so overabused, so overused. Never once has this been incited, included, alluded to by the defense. Not once. All of her criminal transgressions, all of her violations of ethical conduct, all of her infractions against the court have absolutely zero to do with race. And I'm going to share with you. It's so funny, too, because the Pitbull moniker that I've given, Sadow, if you're watching this, which I hope you are, it's funny. It's being used by all news outlets now, and all these other channels now are using this. I hope you don't mind it. To me, it is the kind of embodiment of being exemplary in your field of work. And to me, I think you're the GOAT, Steve. I think you have done, Mr. Sadow. I'm not on first name basis yet. I'm sure he wouldn't mind me calling him Steve, but all due respect, Mr. Sadow, the Pitbull. It to me, it's emblematic of the veracity and the just due diligence. And I love the fact that you never, ever once back down, especially against Cash Money G. When she was on the stand in that disqualification hearing, trying to storm in there and take over the entire court, you never once backed down. You gave it right to her, but you maintained your professionalism, you maintained your ethics, your ethos, which I commend you on that. I have to be honest, I'm not trying to denigrate Miss Merchant, but I did feel that Ashley Merchant, one of the other defendants' attorneys who was prominent in this case and really brought this whole texting with Terrence Bradley and the status of the relationship with Nathan Wade, the special prosecutor, and Fani Willis to light, I felt that there were times where she was being bullied by Fani Willis. I felt that happened more often than not. And she let Fani Willis really dominate the proceedings more often than I care to. I still have a great amount of respect for you, Ashley, Miss Merchant, and I hope you can come on our show, just like Mr. Sadow will eventually be coming on our show. But what I love about you, Mr. Sadow, is you never once let her commandeer the conversation or do what she was doing with these other people and blaming everything on race. And here's more example of the Pitbull schooling Cash Money G and really setting the record straight. So check this out. Okay, so this article was published today, May 10th, 2024 in the New York Sun. And you can see the title there. Fani Willis urges lawmakers to learn the law, but could she be removed from Trump case for playing the race card? So this is the latest defiance from the district attorney, which could prove detrimental to her desire to avoid disqualification by A.R. Hoffman. And what he's referring to here is District Attorney Fani Willis's refusal to honor any subpoena that could be issued by the Georgia Senate, which is investigating her for prosecution of President Trump. So remember, Bill Cowsert, the senator, part of the Georgia State Committee, we did an entire live stream. He questioned and subpoenaed Ashley Merchant, which she actually dropped bombshell after bombshell. Then he subpoenaed the chief financial officer, Ms. Whitmore, and then county commissioner, Mr. Pitts, which was very, very recently. This was only a couple of days ago. We did an entire live stream on that as well. And Cash Money G said at church, I don't think they know the law. They can't subpoena me. I don't care. They must be pissed off. So listen, it goes even further. This article gets into detail of that. Underscores the double down stance of a defiant prosecutor who could be yet disqualified. Her latest comments could grant her critics further ballast. Well, what's he talking about? The message of prospective non-compliance was broadcast at a press conference with Black faith leaders. She is running for re-election, held by the district attorney on the steps of the Big Bethel AME Church. That is where on Martin Luther King Jr. Day, she delivered an oration in which she accused her foes of playing the race card. In that homily, she also defended her former boyfriend, Nathan Wade, whom she hired as special prosecutor. God wasn't it them, meaning her critics, that attacked this lawyer of impeccable credentials. The black man I chose has been a judge for more than 10 years, been in private practice for more than 20. Some will never see a black man as qualified, don't matter his achievements. Mr. Wade has never prosecuted a felony case, but was paid more than $650,000 by Mrs. Willis's office. Hey, Cash Money, it's got nothing to do with him being black. It's got nothing to do with him being an African American. It's got nothing to do with overseeing or under impressive track record, experience, or credentials. No. It has to do with all the lies you told in court under oath. It has to do with all the narcissism, the self-importance, the misappropriation of taxpayer dollars so you can go to Aruba, Jamaica. Ooh, I'm gonna take you to prison in an orange suit. Ooh, I hope you enjoy it. That rhetoric, Mr. Trump will argue to the Georgia Court of Appeals, is along with her secret romance with the special prosecutor she picked to try the case, Nathan Wade. Grounds for disqualification. On Wednesday, the review tribunal granted the 45th president's request to consider whether the trial judge Scott McAfee erred in allowing Mrs. Willis to stay on the case. We did a video on that where the Georgia State of Appeals has agreed to hear the interlocutory appeal filed by the Pitbull Sadow and others. Basically, Trump, huge win for Trump. Plus, two, Mrs. Willis faces scrutiny from the Georgia Senate Special Committee on investigations over her office's use of taxpayer funds in the prosecution of Mr. Trump. She's also being investigated. I mean, talk about the appearance of impropriety. Talk about the odor of mendacity. How many goddamn times do you have to be tried, woman, before you get it through your head? It's got nothing to do with race. Just be gone. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. She's being investigated for misuse of federal funds by Congressman Jim Jordan. The chairman of the Georgia committee, Bill Cowsert, told WSB-TV Atlanta, if she's not willing to come and explain her conduct, then we will subpoena her and ask her to come and require her to come. I would trust that Bill Cowsert knows the law probably a lot better than DEI hire Fani Cash Money G. Willis, even though she keeps claiming they don't know anything about the law, and I will not take part in anything that is unlawful. If you've got nothing to hide, Cash Money G, why won't you come on your own volition? If you actually think everything's on the up and up, why won't you investigate the Georgia State Election Board finding an egregious amount of ballots and paper images missing that Harrison Floyd alluded to? Why are you so quiet? Why, if you believe in your policies, if you believe in yourself as a DA, why do you skip out on a debate with your challengers and go to Miami for cocktails and conversations? I mean, nothing looks good here. Are you listening, Cash Money? Nothing looks good here. Nothing sounds good here. Everything that comes out of your mouth just puts you further in debt and further damages any kind of semblance of credentials and reputation you had. I don't know what you had before, but you ain't got nothing now. Mrs. Willis's response did not mince words. Here we go. Listen to this, guys. First of all, she declared, I don't think they have the authority to subpoena me, but they need to learn the law. I will not appear to do anything that is unlawful, and I have not broken the law in any way. I'm sorry folks get pissed off that everybody gets treated evenly. No, nobody's pissed off because they get treated evenly. everybody gets pissed off because you lied. You're a liar. You're an LAD. You're a lying-ass dog. That's what you is, Cash Money G, and you know this. The last line could find its way into Mr. Trump's appellate case against Mrs. Willis, whom he accuses of forensic misconduct on account of her comments suggesting that the defendants in the case are racist. Judge McAfee found those remarks legally improper, but demurred from holding that her speech at Big Bethel, quote, crossed the line to the point where the defendants have been denied the opportunity for a fundamentally fair trial. Judge McAfee also reckoned that providing this type of public comment creates dangerous waters for the district attorney to wade further into. He even suggested that the defendants could move for a gag order to be imposed on Mrs. Willis. I don't know why we haven't done that yet. Sadow, maybe you could chime in. He reasons, well, I could think of a reason, because why put a gag order on her? The more she talks, the more she incriminates herself. The more she just causes more chaos, and it's just a bigger win for his client, Mr. Trump. He reasons, so I just answered your own question. Never mind, Mr. Sadow. He reasons that the, quote, time may well have arrived for an order preventing the state from mentioning the case in any public forum. Yeah, I would have to agree with that. Mrs. Willis, here we go, guys. Here's the big stuff. Here is where Sadow schools and sets the record straight once and for all. Mrs. Willis has also reportedly employed racial language in private settings. WAGA-TV reports that in January, in an email exchange with Mr. Trump's attorney, Stephen Sadow, that's the pit bull, over timely delivery of documents, the district attorney wrote, quote, in the legal community, this is what Cash Money G wrote, in the legal community and the world at large, some people will never be able to respect African Americans. Oh, it's so pathetic how she plays the race card over and over and over. You've got no evidence. You've got no legal acumen. You've got nothing to put anything on, to stand on, not a leg, not a foot, not an ankle, not a big toe to stand on. Your only thing, your only crutch, your only leverage is DEI. Didn't earn it. You play the race card, which is pathetic. That might have worked 20 years ago, Cash Money G, but you know what? If you look at the national polls, all of you and your fellow Democrats who keep employing this repulsive tactic are getting schooled. Why? Because Americans are fed up with it. Why? Because real true blue Americans are sick and tired of excuses and victim mentality. And that's exactly what this is. It's pathetic, petty, nonsensical victim mentality. How does it feel to play a victim? I thought you were a big, strong, independent woman. Why are you playing the victim all the time? I digress. Some people will never ever be able to respect African Americans and or women as their equal and counterpart. That is a burden you do not experience. I mean, she can't even write an email without sounding just outlandishly low class, low ethics, zero morale, zero self-reliance. And then check it out. Here is the pit bull's response. Mr. Sadow replied, I love this. God, I love this guy. To that observation by declaring, no defense counsel has treated you or your prosecutors in a disrespectful or condescending manner. The relationship among counsel in our case has nothing to do with race or gender, nor should it. He alleges, though, that Mrs. Willis has engaged in racially charged rhetoric to poison the Fulton County jury pool, which she has. The last census found that Fulton County, which includes downtown Atlanta, is a majority-minority county with 60% of its population being people of color. Judge McAfee notes that no prosecutor at Fulton County has ever been disqualified for forensic misconduct. He lamented that he was unmoored from precedent, but found the relevant inquiry to be, quote, whether such remarks were part of a calculated plan evincing a design to prejudice the defendant in the minds of the jurors, or whether such remarks were inadvertent utterances. So I told you, Pussycat McAfee, that's his nickname, Pussycat McAfee. He's just playing it safe like he did with his ruling. The judge, though, acknowledges that his holding was limited and marbled with caveats about the unexplored nature of this body of law and critiques of Mrs. Willis's conduct. The Court of Appeals could yet find him too credulous of the district attorney's intentions. Mrs. Willis's office did not respond by press time to a request for comment. What a shock. Get your popcorn ready, Nez Nation, because we got so much more to come. I can't wait. I hope to God those appellate cases in the higher Georgia State of Appeals cases are televised, because you know your boy, but even if they're not televised, you know your boy Nez has got you covered. This is your one-stop shop. You don't need to go anywhere else. But I throw this off to you. What do you guys think of all this? What do you think of her consistently playing the race card? What do you think of that clip that I played for you? Isn't it funny how when an African-American becomes a DA, daddy's going to tell me, who's daddy, by the way? Who are you talking about? I don't know what she's talking about. Why are you calling him daddy? Am I missing some sort of cultural slang? I mean, I consider myself a pretty cultural dude. So I don't know. I mean, let me know in the comments what you think. I would love to hear from you. As always, I try really, really hard to answer all the comments and respond to all the comments, but it's literally physically impossible. So consider becoming a member, because members get top priority. You also get a bunch of other perks, exclusive content, a badge next to your name, shout outs and live streams, as well as access to our members-only Discord. It only costs you a cup of coffee to support the truth. We got to get our country back. Also, I give a big appreciation and a huge sound of gratitude to all super thanks and super chats. Thank you so much. All the proceeds go back into the channel. Make sure you click that thumbs up. Share this out. It takes you a nanosecond. Become a Nez Nation Insider. That's our free newsletter. Everything can be found in the show notes, description, and in the pinned comment. Check out these videos coming up on the screen right now, especially this one I posted today. It's phenomenal. As always, God bless you. May God bless America, and I'll see you soon.